Hello, I'm Jim Flick, Director of Instruction for the Golf Digest Schools. With me today is our Dean of Instructors, Bob Toski. What makes our Golf Digest Schools significant is our approach to fundamentals. There isn't just one way to swing or to set up. You need to develop a working set of fundamentals that relate to such things as your desired ball flight, your body type, your swing requirements, and yes, even your personality. Let's take a look at some great tournament champions swinging a golf club, each in his own unique way. And what they all have in common was a great set of fundamentals on which their records were built. In this lesson, we will not only discuss the 5 pre-swing fundamentals, but we'll help you understand how they affect your swing, the movements of your body, and the ball flight. The 5 fundamentals that we will discuss are the grip, the aiming of your club, your ball position, your setup and alignment, and finally your routine. But as a guideline on how to monitor how well you're doing with your fundamentals, you must be able to read your ball flight. But there are some factors that you need to consider before you identify that flight. Number 1, you must aim the club and your body carefully. Number 2, you must have solid center face contact before the material is accurate. But the conclusion you can draw is that your swing path will identify the starting direction of your golf ball. If you are swinging from in to out, the ball will start slightly to the right. If you are out to in, it will start slightly to the left. The second part of that ball's journey is its curvature, and the club face position at impact will give you a reading as to that position. There are some other factors that affect your ball flight, such as the loft of the club, the angle of approach of the club, the speed with which the club is moving. But the predominant message I am delivering here is please identify your starting direction with your swing path, curvature with your club face position at impact. Now to get started with the major emphasis on the most important fundamental, the grip, let's get Bob Toski to share with us his knowledge.
As Jim said, the most important fundamental in golf is the proper grip or holding of the golf club. Now, the purpose of a good grip is that it allows the hands and arms to swing the golf club freely from around the player's body as you strike that golf ball. And that grip affects the distance of the golf shot, the curvature of the golf shot, and the trajectory of the golf shot. Now, when we play golf, we might hold the club in our fingers, which creates a lot of speed, but very little control. Holding the club in the fingers gives your hands and wrists more flexibility to cock and uncock and produce club head speed and more distance. Holding it more in the palm gives you more control, but less of that speed and distance producing flexibility. Now, there are 3 types of grips that we play golf with. One is the interlocking grip, where you see the little finger of the right hand interlocked with the forefinger of the left hand. It kind of puts our right hand a little more underneath. The interlocking grip is good for people who have small fingers and small hands. The interlocking grip forces the club to be held more in the palm of the right hand. Now, the 10-full fingered grip is one in which we take the pinky finger away and take it over and place it entirely on the golf club. So now that we have an all 10 full fingered grip, which is common for people who feel like they don't have enough strength, enough speed in their golf swing. People who feel like they really don't have enough power in their hands and wrists and arms. This 10 full fingered grip is very effective for creating speed and security in your golf swing. But the most important grip in golf is the Vardner overlapping grip. This is the greatest compromise between these other 2 grips. The Vardner overlapping grip is where the little pinky finger of the right hand overlaps with the forefinger of the left hand, as you see here. Now, how is this grip accomplished? We want to feel like the club is being held in the base of the forefinger coming across the palm up into this part of the heel of the palm of the hand. And as we close our left hand, the fingers of our left hand against our palm, you'll notice the 3 dots that I have on my left fingers, then they close against the palm, That gives me a thumb position which is right down the center or slightly to the right of the center of the shaft. This is what we call the neutral grip position. From this position, I can hold and control the golf club well with my left hand, because that's your master hand. In your right hand, you bring the right hand against the shaft, and as we close our right hand around the shaft, we form a position where the hands are unified and solid on the golf club. They support each other. So we want the two middle fingers and the back three fingers, which are our grippers, to hold on to the golf club, and we want the thumb and forefingers, which are our feelers. So therefore, when we get the thumb and forefinger on the club correctly, we can solidify or control the shaft angle of the golf club at the top. When the thumb and forefinger are joined, we can keep that golf club under control. If they were not joined and were wider apart, the club would fall and get out of control with our right hand supporting our left at the top of the golf swing. So the Vardner overlapping grip is the most important grip in golf, because it allows you to swing your arms freely, control your hands, and hit the best golf shots of your life. The second effect that a good grip has is on your ability to control the curvature of the golf ball. To control the curvature of the ball, let's talk about the neutral grip position. And as you see the way my hands are placed on this club in the neutral grip position, that controls the swinging action of the face of the golf club, so that when I come back to the ball, the face of that club will hit the ball real square and hit the ball relatively straight. Now, if I have a weak grip position, where the left hand is turned over to the left, the right hand is turned too high on the club, that will take the club face back more outside or shut, and then I strike the ball with an open club face, and the ball will curve off to the right. If I have a strong grip position where the left hand is too far over and the right hand is too far under, that takes the golf club around my body more, opens the club face and turns it over so that when I hit the ball it's closed, and that makes the ball go low and to the left. But the grip position that we want to play golf from, to hit the ball consistently solid and square and straight, is the neutral grip position, because that's the position in which you're going to find that club face against the ball nice and solid and square and hit your straightest and best golf shot. The third effect that a good grip has is on your ability to control the trajectory of your golf shot. And if your golf shot is going too high, your grip position might be one in which your hands are too weak on the golf club in this manner. So you want to work toward a more neutral grip position. And if your ball is going too low, then your grip looks something like this, in which the ball is curving low and to the left. So again, you want to work toward the neutral grip position to get better trajectory and better control. Now to do that, I would suggest that you get that golf club in your right hand right at the base of these fingers, right, the two middle fingers, so when you close your right hand on that golf club, you can control the direction and the trajectory of your golf ball that much better.
Aiming the club face properly sets up an instinctive reaction of our golf swing and the release of our hands, arms, and the club face as it goes through the golf ball. To aim the club face properly, it's very important that your eyes conceive the target line and how the club face should look behind that. Again, rotate your eyes down the target line and get used to fitting the golf club properly behind the ball, and then fitting your body into the golf club, making your hands be even with the front of the ball, slightly in front of the club face. If you're having trouble identifying what your club face should look like, this is a little exercise that we use at the schools. We fill in the scoring lines on your iron club with a magic marker, then a white board creating a black line at right angles, and then making those two black lines match out. Once doing that, your club face will be certainly square to your target line. It will look like so and like so, and that for sure is square. That's what we recommend how you aim your golf club consistently. If you have a tendency to fear slice and you're allowing yourself to close the club face, you're inviting disaster. You may very well be promoting a swing from there. The club face would perceive your swing being more to the outside, back across the ball, and blocking the shot into the target area. If you need a little more release, you might consider opening the club face ever so slightly, because we see lots of good players do that. Their club face is either square or open. Close your stance ever so slightly to your target line, and then make a swing and release the golf club through the ball. That'll help you develop the ability to get more speed and hit your ball further. If you don't mind looking a little strange and kind of like a Martian, we have an exercise that will certainly help you develop the ability to rotate your eyes properly down the target line, learn how to put the club face behind the golf ball related to that target line, and then how to hold your eyes in the correct relationship to that target line through your whole golf swing. Yes, take a pair of sunglasses, insert 4 Band-Aids, and place them in a manner that you have some slits to see through, parallel to each other, of course. Place them in a relationship that you can now identify, rotating your eyes down the target line and aim the club face. Fit your body into position and then make a golf swing, being very aware of making your eye line hold that relationship. Yeah, that's fun. Those kind of crazy teaching aids help you develop better habits and better fundamentals. The purpose of good ball position is to accurately locate the ball related to the bottom of your swing arc, and to get the club coming at the proper angle, to get it from the correct swing path, but also to encourage you to properly square the club face with your hands and arms. There are different ball positions for different clubs, and in locating your ball position, I would encourage that you not necessarily work strictly with your feet, but you consider your ball position related to your sternum or the placket on your shirt. And I've drawn on the ground here these lines being the target line, representing the arc of the club in the backswing and the forward swing, and then a line at right angles to your target line for the location of your ball consistently. We want a very descending angle with the short iron, so our ball position should probably be to the center of our stance and maybe even to the right of your stance slightly. So it would look something like so. Again, locating this ball related to your sternum, you'll feel as though your eyes are looking pretty well at the top of the golf ball. With a 5-iron, we would want a little less steep angle, so we would move the ball slightly more forward or to your left foot, and you will feel as though your sternum will be at the very back of the golf ball, and you will feel as though your right eye is looking at the back of the ball to encourage a little more shallow angle, but still from the inside. As we go to a fairway wood, now we must change dramatically our angle of approach. Not so much down, it's still sitting on the ground, yes, but we want to clip the ball right off the ground. So we'll move the ball slightly more forward in our stance so that it's somewhere between the center of your stance with an iron and forward, not quite as much as a driver, shall we say slightly to the left of the center of your stance. And that will encourage you to make a swing to accommodate a more shallow angle. With the driver, we have a different situation. The driver, we find the ball teed up. So to accommodate that, and yet use your same guidelines, let's put the ball to the left of the identification mark we have on the ground and locate the ball. For the really good player who has a dramatic weight shift, the ball might be off the left heel. For the average player, the ball perhaps would be a couple inches inside the left heel. But relate again the ball position to your sternum and not to your feet, because you'll be considerably more consistent if you do it in that manner. It would look to you this way. Your head now will be Still over your sternum, of course, but that will change your angle of seeing the golf ball so that your right eye sees considerably more of the back of the ball, and that will encourage you to strike your golf ball with an upward blow to accommodate the ball sitting on the tee. Let's identify a problem related to body type. If you are tall, in the neighborhood of 6'2" or so, and your swing will accommodate your body and probably be a little more vertical. To accommodate that swing shape, your ball position may be slightly more forward than some other folks. If you're average height, your ball position you'll need to find for yourself, but it will be fairly significant that you consider the center of your stance as a guideline for most of the time when you find the ball on the ground. For a shorter player who will have a swing that's more around his body, the ball position will probably be moved slightly to the rear from time to time to accommodate a swing that is more around his body and more rotary in nature. The message being, there is not one ball position for all players. There can't be, because you have different clubs and you have a different body type. If you can't get the club coming sufficiently from the inside, move the ball to the rear of your stance. That will encourage an inside delivery of the club, and it will also help a compatible release of your hands, wrists, and forearms to square the club face. If you have a swing with dramatic weight shift, then your tendency may be to put the ball forward in your stance. But if you don't have a tour-like motion with your feet and legs to move your sternum up to the golf ball, please don't try to put the ball in the position a tour player is playing from. You don't have the weight shift to accommodate that ball position. Don't take for granted your ball position. It dramatically affects your in-swing fundamentals and your ball flight. Remember, the good news is you can locate your ball position accurately before you start your golf swing. Setup and alignment is a very important pre-swing fundamental. And when I look at Bob Toski's setup, it's very classic. And I'd like to help you look at the major points that make his swing function so properly from this very good setup and alignment position. Let's identify an athletic ready position. It means that you are light on your feet, your hands are sensitive to the club that you have, and that your mind is free to react to your target and make the swing that you wish. As we look at Bob standing with a 5-iron, please note that the ball is fairly well towards the center of his stance. His width of stance is fairly wide, but a good player needs that as a strong platform to move from his right side to his left side. His weight distribution is about 50-50 with the 5-iron, but if you're not a really good mover from underneath, we would encourage that you narrow your stance, move the ball slightly to the rear, and you'll get a much more consistent blow from the inside. As Bob places the club behind the ball, he is beginning to bend from the hips to identify the free hanging of his arms suspended in front of his body so that his body will not interfere with the swinging of his arms. The arm hang will vary slightly as to the club that he has in his hand. With the driver, his arms will hang slightly further from his body to accommodate the length of the shaft and the lie of the golf club. Too much knee flex puts the weight back on his heels and will inhibit the free-flowing motion, and his body will not be able to turn as easily as if the weight is properly placed from the center of the feet to the balls of the feet so that they can respond to the swinging of the golf club. With the driver, his hands will be slightly behind the ball to encourage an upward blow and to catch the ball with the right angle of the club. With a 9-iron and a 5-iron, his hands will be slightly more forward to encourage a descending blow. His right side will be underneath his left side and appear very soft and passive. His eye line will be set up parallel down the target line, and his eyes will rotate to identify very precisely the target line and then adjust his body to fit the desired ball flight and swing path that he wishes to use to send the ball back into his target area. There are 3 stances that we would like to note. With the driver, to promote an easier backward turning to the right on your backswing, you may wish to drop your right foot slightly further from the target line to encourage an easier rotation of your right hip on the backswing. Your swing will accommodate the length of the shaft and the lie of the club being a little flatter, a little more around you, and be easier to deliver the club from the inside and a more shallow angle of attack. With a short iron, he may wish to start from a square position, withdraw his left foot from the target line to open up his stance, which will restrict the length of the swing and make the arc slightly more vertical to accommodate the length of the shaft and a desired angle of approach. We would encourage you to use the square stance as your basic position to start your golf swing. Then make the necessary adjustments with your body to encourage the correct swing path that you are wishing to make to influence your ball flight and get your ball into the target area. Start from the basic square position and then adjust. But remember, you need to make your hands, wrist, and the club face be compatible with your swing path to get the ball to come into the target. There are some adjustments in your feet that will help you make an easier turn to the right. If you were to adjust your left toe to be more perpendicular to the target line and open up your right toe, that will make it much easier to encourage a turning of your right side on the backswing and make it easier to come down from the inside and deliver a stronger blow, more shallow to the golf ball. In closing, there is not just one setup and not just one alignment, because we have different clubs, and each club must be given consideration as to ball position and your setup, as to weight distribution, width of stance, the knee flex, and the arm hang. Remember, consistent setup and alignment lead to repeatable golf swings and the type of ball flight that will get you into your target area. Your mind and body need to be ready to react to the target. A routine is a very simple way to tie together your pre-swing fundamentals and your in-swing motion. We'd like for it to be natural. I said natural. You may have to work at it to develop it in that relationship. And here are the simple steps that I'd ask you to go through. Very simply, rotate your eyes to identify your target line. Aim your club down the target line. Position the ball related to your feet and your target line. Waggle the club and go. And that'll let you hit your shot before your body and mind get too tight. Better players are perhaps a little more exacting in their routines, and they'll start behind the ball and begin to visualize the ball flight that they wish to carry into their target area. They'll begin to circle to the left, keeping their eye on the target line, and from their right foot position, their hands will place the club behind the golf ball, identifying the target line, readjusting their feet for width of stance and ball position, waggling and feeling the golf club, and then when they've identified their swing path, they will set their swing into motion. Your routine should be natural, free of tension, and you should keep in motion and active at all times.
There's a key to tying these fundamentals together. The grip, your aim, your ball position, your setup and alignment, and your routine. Review them every time you practice or play. And that's how you're going to find your own fundamentals and make them work for you.